with scoliosis.
8?
And,
no, you can't have it.
You can't get it. But you can get...
What are the chances I get that again?
Like a lot of diarrhea related, like giardia and ringworm. You can
Giardia?
Yeah. I don't know
That is
why
such
I know
a great name for a lead singer.
I got it from Streamwater once. It was atrocious. But
Streamwater. That's what they called it? Just when a guy's standing over you in a club. That is not Streamwater.
That pays really well. I won't knock it until you try it.
Yeah. I made my rent that night, Greg.
I don't know how you're a germaphobe and live in New York City. There are people like Stern who have barely left their apartments except to smoke on the street for the last 2.5 years. And you can see them because when you're walking toward them, they always do this.
Yeah.
And they look at you like you're some sort of giant walking contagious tumor. So here's how you ensure that they stay in their apartment forever. You cough, sneeze, you do a nose pick, or you do the 1-2 punch with this and this, and they come out.
You'll be seeing that on Special Report. Katie, you look marvelous.
Greg?
They have a sale at Spencer's Gifts. I only say that because it's true.
He can't help it.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
When life is so good, you become more and more terrified of losing it. I think it's about a profound fear of death, which increases with his wealth and prestige. It's like he doesn't think it's ever going to get any better than being here.
Yes, but to your point, Howard has always been this way. Like he's always been, he made his career on neurosis.
Yes.
You know, he's been very honest about going to analysis, not just therapy, like 5-day-a-week analysis. He's always been, you know, unhinged and nuts and obsessed with butts.
Yeah.
And
who's like that? Anyway.
I don't know, Greg. That's so weird that it takes one to know one. You're like Howard Stern. But he had.
I'm just fascinated with the digestive system.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
It's just the very end of the system.
That's where all the action is.
You know, that's why I'm sitting down. Thank you for that. I have to say that I got into broadcasting because of Howard. I was an intern at a radio station when he came on the air in Los Angeles in 1991, and they would simulcast starting at 3 a.m, which was 6 a.m. here in New York, and I would stay up until 6 a.m. to listen to the first 3 hours of a show, because before that everything was a Z Morning Zoo.
Right.
And so I was like, this is what broadcasters are capable of. And he inspired me so deeply, I wanted to get on the air. I wanted to get into radio. And he had me on a show very early on at MTV, and he humiliated me, and it was one of the greatest days of my life.
Oh, wow.
So I love him. I'll always have a soft spot.
Kat, basically it's about if you work from home in a really nice place, you should probably not be lecturing how other people should spend their pandemic. Isn't that kind of it?
Yes. Good thing you took 7 minutes to say that.
Wow.
No, I think it is. I think that's true. I think it's still kind of sad though.
Yes.
Because he's just there, and he basically kidnapped himself.
Right.
He did. People were saying they want to go see it. Like Jimmy Kimmel said, I take 2 tests, him and his wife, to be able to come inside because there's no distancing capable in that giant compound.
Yeah.
I think it's really sad, and I guess that's what I thought until I found out it was full of cats.
Okay, but we're burying the lead.
What?
Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux were at the same dinner. Are they back together?
No, I hope not. I don't
Am I the only one who believes in love?
Oh, we'll get to that in the D block.
Yeah.
All right, quickly before we go, I'll be in Sugarland, and that ain't no euphemism. Sugarland, Texas, on November 19th, with special guest Tom Shalhoub, somebody else.
Hey.
Goddamn. Go to GeneGutfeld.com for tickets. Up next, Kanye explains why people scatter when he says white lives matter.
My agency stayed here. It needed to be here.
Full plate. Wait, are you my blind date? Dancing crew, a trip for 2, now the final
in 31 days Fani Willis will move?
I don't know exactly what day, but I would imagine that it will be very quickly after the midterm elections. Obviously, she's trying to give some window here for the politics to play out without the investigation being at the top of the news, or without it being either one affecting the other. And at the same time, most of the evidence here has existed for quite a long time. I'm not sure there's a lot of obstacles once these elections are done.
John Allen, Glenn Kirshner, and Tracy Walter, thank you. Coming up, with just 31 days until the election that may determine the future of America, and with October surprise after surprise, we look at what has voters worked up right now. And later, he's making the case the nation is now adrift, but can still be fixed. Stephanie goes one-on-one with author, professor, and podcast host Scott Galloway. The 11th hour just getting underway on a Friday night.
Inflammation support. Unlike regular turmeric supplements, Kool's superior absorption helps me get the full benefits of turmeric. The brand I trust is Kool.
Hi, I'm Mark Finley, the inventor of LifePak, a simple rescue device that can save a life in a choking emergency. All these people were saved by LifePak. People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those is a child.
As simple as place, push, pull.
To learn more, please visit lifepack.net.
If you or a loved one has mesothelioma or any other asbestos-related cancer, call now. Asbestos manufacturers sold deadly asbestos materials to thousands of companies, putting workers at risk. An estimated $2 billion in court-ordered trusts have been set aside to pay out claims to asbestos victims. You may be entitled to a portion of these funds and receive compensation without filing a lawsuit or ever going to court. For your free legal consultation, call 1-800-940-2221. That's 1-800-940-2221.
As prices at the pump bounce back up, what's being done to help Americans? And will it sway voters at the midterms? Shannon has the insight you need on the next Fox News Sunday.
You probably know Spectrum Internet has speeds up to 1 gig.
Yeah.
Well, you work here, but have you heard about Spectrum Advanced Wi-Fi? Once you're connected, you're protected because it comes with state-of-the-art security, like this. But you can let me in now, and it can handle up to 200 devices.
200?
Basically, Spectrum built you a better internet. These guys are very, very good.
I mean, it is a team effort.
Excellent, isn't it? Spectrum Advanced Wi-Fi, only available on a better kind of internet. Spectrum Internet.
When it's go time, I don't let constipation stop me.
New great-tasting Dulcolax Chewy Fruit Bites work naturally with the water in your body in as little as 30 minutes, so you can go fast, go gently, and go on with life. New Dulcolax Chewy Fruit Bites put you comfortably in control.
You won't faze me. Unlike Zyrtec, Allegra won't make me drowsy.
And Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin.
So when allergies attack,
take Allegra before your symptoms take over you. And for congestion relief, find Allegra D at your pharmacy.
Age before beauty? Why not both? Visibly diminish wrinkled skin in just 2 days. New Crit Corrector Lotion, only from Gold Bond. Champion your skin. Nurse Mariam Sabo knows a moment this pure demands a lotion this pure. Gold Bond Pure Moisture Lotion. 24-hour hydration. No parabens, dyes, or fragrances. Gold Bond. Champion your skin.
They threaten Kanye's health because he thinks for himself. It was amazing watching Tucker shake the nest with legendary rapper Kanye West. True, last night Kanye gave a wide-ranging interview on America's premier show dedicated to rap music and urban issues. They discussed Kim and Donald, White Lives Matter and the media, and gift ideas for my 40th birthday. Here's a hint, leopard print. But I wonder what his so-called friends/handlers around him told him if he said he liked Trump.
My so-called friends/handlers around me told me, like, if I said that I like Trump, that my career would be over, that my life would be over. They said stuff like people get killed for wearing a hat like that. They threatened my life. They put my life. They basically said that I would be killed for wearing the hat. I had someone call me last night and said anybody wearing a White Lives Matter shirt is going to be greenlit, and that means that they're going to beat them up if they wear it. And I'm like, okay, green light me then.
Mm-hmm. Fun fact, that was for Waldo. But it's true. I think of all the beatings I took for wearing a bathrobe on Outnumbered. True, I should have closed it. That couch. Thank you. But what's the answer to why you wrote White Lives Matter on a shirt?
The answer to why I wrote White Lives Matter on a shirt is because they do. It's the obvious thing.
Why do you think that that would be considered controversial?
Because the same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be Black and the vernacular that we're supposed to have.
Makes sense to me, especially after I looked up vernacular. So are we in a battle with the media?
We are in a battle with the media. Like, the majority of the media has a godless agenda, and the jokes in that work, and this whole like, oh yeah, he's crazy and all these things, they don't work because the media has, they've also watched travesties happen, just even specifically to me, and just watch it and act like it wasn't happening.
Anyway, you got to Kanye credit. He's catching flack for even talking to Tucker. But maybe his critics will realize Fox News prefers conversations over pandering any day. Me, I like this new trend. And I'm really looking forward to Laura Ingram's hip-hop dance party. Gonna be every Friday night at midnight, Kennedy.
Please don't tell Trace Gallagher that.
Oh, dreamy Trace Gallagher. What did you think of the interview?
I thought it was great. And I've always appreciated about him how he pushes the boundaries. I know that you're a fan of punk rock from way, way back, and that's what punk rock is really supposed to be. It's supposed to be, speaking truth to power, calling things out, and Kanye West does that in a way that is completely opposite of the groupthink that he is held hostage to. And I think that he's really smart. He knows exactly what he's doing. When he says something that doesn't politically align with the progressive left, then they try and paint him as being mentally unstable. It's like, oh, well, let's pray for Kanye because he's got a mental illness. Well, clearly, this is someone who has thought very deeply about his art and his opinions, and he expresses everything so clearly. And the fact that he's making people mad means that as an artist, he is doing his job. He just happens to believe what he's saying. He's not just provoking a reaction. He is, but he's provoking such a reaction because he means what he says.
Yeah, and Kat, in a way, the reaction that he provokes is precisely the point he's making, which he's saying, this is so dangerous, they're gonna try to kill me, or they're gonna threaten me. And when that happens, it almost becomes like performance art.
Yeah, and I thought it was great that you brought up that people were just mad that he was even talking to Tucker.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter what he said. People were already mad, oh, he's going on Fox News. Don't watch it because Fox News, everybody there's evil, horrible, racist people. And I took that personally. It's like, have you ever met anybody from Fox? There's a lot of people who think different things here.
Yeah.
And also, what's interesting is if let's say he would have gone up there and said nothing remotely controversial. He would have said everything I said before was wrong. I'm so sorry. I'm disgusted with everything I've said and done. People would have still been like, you still.
Yeah.
I don't get, when you talk about progressive, I don't know how they can call themselves that when they make it impossible for any progress or moving forward or making a single mistake or even not even a mistake, a single disagreement with them ever.
Yeah, well, I mean, the point, the progress was supposed to be a colorblind society, and now they changed that. Now it can't be colorblind. They're going backwards. Now you have to say, this is your color. People are now putting their race on their resumes now, Dagan, which is crazy. I think we're living in a weird and very special intellectual renaissance when you consider people like Tucker or Kanye or Elon Musk, or all these people that live outside the conventional wisdom and the liberal assumptions of the media, and they're the rebels. I mean, it's kind of this is interesting. It's a very powerful moment to see that they all kind of don't play along.
Because the you money people will free us. people who have so much money and power and a platform. And I watched that interview. Of course, I watched it covered in like cheese popcorn dust, drinking warm wine with my feet up, judging him, joking. But I watched it and thought he just needs new friends. Yeah. He just needs to hang around different people. It's like libertarians and conservatives trying to live and work in New York City at most of these big media companies. It's just that it was this stream of consciousness. He just needed somebody to get stuff off his chest to.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I would watch a television show with him a couple of days a week.
There you go. David, you are a hip hop historian, aren't you? Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. It goes way back. You even have a museum. It has a lot of the hip hop artifacts going back to like the early 80s.
Early 80s, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, with that,
I would have at least a baseline knowledge to even make a reference. I'm just like, I don't even.
Could you make it?
Oh, is that a guy?
Yes, I met Curtis Blow.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he passed away though, right? I don't know. Every time I say that, the person's alive. That's why I say it.
Look, I feel for kind of every time I appear on Fox News, the reaction's the same. Who are you? What? You were on what? We didn't see that. But I think I agree with what Kennedy was saying. He's got the punk rock spirit because you see how rap's come around. Like it used to be the police, and then that became the Democratic Party platform. And now there's a new thing.
Very true. All right, that's 3 F words today in one block. That's it. That's all we get. That's all we get. Or we're going to turn this show around and go back. People.
We're a little edgy.
Edgy, that's what it is. Up next, as drag queens prance around, a concerned mom stands her ground.
Your spirit is stronger than your highs and lows. Your creativity can outshine any bad day because you are greater than your bipolar 1. And you can help take control of your symptoms and ask about Vraylar. Some medicines only treat the lows or highs. Once daily Vraylar is proven to treat depressive, acute manic, and mixed episodes of bipolar 1 in adults. Full spectrum relief for all bipolar 1 symptoms. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor about unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, which may mean a life-threatening reaction, or uncontrollable muscle movements, which may be permanent. High cholesterol and weight gain, and high blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, may occur. Movement dysfunction and restlessness are common side effects. Sleepiness and stomach issues are also common. Side effects may not appear for several weeks. You are greater than your bipolar 1. Ask about Vraylar and learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I want to give each and every one of you one last chance to get your very own My Pillow for Kill bed sheets. Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code, and you'll get the lowest prices ever. For example, you get my best-selling queen size, regular $89.98, now only $39.98. Percale is a type of weave that gives you that cool, crisp feel. These bed sheets are available in a variety of colors. They're durable, and they come with deep pockets that fit over any mattress. They're absolutely amazing. So go to mypillow.com or call that number on your screen now. Use your promo code to get my king size, split kings, or California kings for only $49.98. Queen size and RV queens, only $39.98. Full size for $34.98. Or twin and twin XL for only $29.98. We have limited quantities, and once they're gone, so order now.
At Pure Talk, we believe that America is still the greatest country in the world, built with the blood, sweat, and tears it takes to turn dreams into reality. At Pure Talk, we believe in ingenuity. We believe in family, in build communities, in neighbor helping neighbor, because it's the right thing to do. We're tired of political games, of big business pushing their agendas on Americans. Isn't it good enough to offer a great product at a fair price with excellent service? At Pure Talk, we believe in creating jobs for Americans, not offshoring just to save a buck. And we believe you deserve better from your wireless company, not to be pigeonholed into an unlimited data plan you don't need, but one that can adapt to your needs. So if you're with Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, there's a better wireless option, Pure Talk, where you get great coverage at half the cost, without the politics. Pure Talk, a wireless company for all Americans.
Better hearing in 3 easy steps. 1. Screen your hearing like this. 2. Order your earbuds on here. 3. Now, enjoy. Oh, and any questions? Answered here.
Hello, this is Eargo.
Hello. Better hearing made easy. That's the earbud difference.
Goodbye, junk drawer. Goodbye, sticky note reminders. Goodbye, filing cabinet. Hello, Trustworthy, the family operating system. Your important family information, it's all over the place, but it doesn't have to be. Trustworthy automates the organization, so I don't have to. A personal guide to help keep our information secure, current, and available when we need it. Thousands of families rely on Trustworthy to organize their important information and critical tasks. Get Trustworthy at the App Store or sign up at trustworthy.com.
Drag queens and their ilk get shut down by an angry MILF. That's cute. Iowa parents, my favorite kind, were pissed after a local high school allowed drag queens to perform for students, which is the kind of perversion they should keep inside the faculty lounge. Still, it's good to see their tax dollars were hard at work. No, don't reward me. Don't reward me. Ankeny High, which is located in Ankeny, I bet I'm saying it wrong because it's probably never been said out loud before, held an after-hours event last spring in partnership with the school's Gay Straight Alliance. According to a local paper, the school district signed off on inviting performers from the Iowa Youth Parade pageant, but did not approve the drag show, proving you should never trust any group with Youth Parade pageant in their name, something I learned the hard way. Took all my clothes, left me on the side of the road, but it was a glorious 2 hours. Walking home in the sun. Where am I? But now, one mom has had enough. Kimberly writes, showed up to a school board meeting wearing the same leotard outfit as the drag performer. And here's what she said.
Does this outfit make you turn your head? Does this outfit be appropriate for anybody here to see? Because if this makes your head turn, if this pisses you off, then it should. Because this guy walked into our school doing the exact same thing.
Can you guys do one thing?
You know, I would compliment her just to be safe. The school district responded to the incident in a statement saying, the district recognizes the importance of citizen participation and encourages the community to participate in district matters. Beyond that, the district is focused on improving outcomes for our students and remains committed to that goal. Yeah. Wow, that was great. So did the mother's stunt work? Well, if it was to get drag shows out of schools, it's too early to tell. But if she wanted more dads to attend school board meetings... Megan, there's an interesting point here that I think she's making, which is like it's not really just a stunt, it's really perceptive. That if a woman, a biological woman, showed up in school and did something like that, like let's say stripping without getting completely naked, but stripping, that would be unacceptable. But because it's got a measure of intersectionality, it's a man, it's somehow considered an art form.
I understand that, and she made her point. She would have done a better job of conveying it if she'd done the classic drag queen death drop, which is one leg out and one leg back, and you go boom on your back. Or the flying leap into a split, and boom, you land on the ground. The fellas will come calling if you can learn how to do that. I looked at that and thought, like, I'm not a parent. I wonder what the kids are looking at their phone on their phones,
Right.
if they're, the parents are worried about this. But I looked at that outfit and I was like, she looks great. She could go out to a bar in that. And it looks like a gymnastics leotard anyway.
I don't think so.
I'm
disgusted. What's wrong with you, Dagan?
I don't want to be. Listen, I love drag queens. I love drag queens.
Stop it with your drag queen virtue signaling.
You don't understand. I also need to wear fake hair, fake lashes, and a big padded bra to look noticeably female. So I have a lot in common with that.
By the way, a drag queen, I look like a man without the help of drag queens doing my makeup. And I went into a department store once and I had plucked out all of my eyebrows, and a drag queen told me, honey, stop plucking your eyebrows out because you look insane. Mm-hmm. And then she filled my eyebrows in.
They're like angels. Drag queens are like little angels that come down to help you.
If I was that mom and I tried to wear that outfit and I went there, they'd be like, it's a drag queen again.
Drag queens do exaggerate the female form, which is kind of interesting. David, I want to ask you, but just answer this somewhat seriously. Don't try to work it into some kind of promotion for your razors.
Greg. Well, I take the point, and I apologize for some of the shameless plugs I've done earlier. Yeah. As to this, let me just check my notes real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The thing that I find interesting on drag queens is I've lived in New York City for many, many years. I can count on one hand how many drag queens I've run into.
Yeah.
Somehow in middle America, this is like the biggest thing.
But this is
like, it's like, you go in Chili's on a Tuesday night, coming down with the fajita plates, doing their voguing.
This is a new thing. This is like, it's like, I want to know, when did it become, like, I have no judgment on it whatsoever. I could give it. But it seems like it spontaneously erupted as a kind of like a mob virtue signal, kind of pushed by a group or an organization. I'm not saying I'm a conspiracist, but what do you think?
Couple things here. Yeah. I do have kids. I have a middle schooler. I have a high schooler. The high schoolers would not be shocked by this at all. They would be, to Dagan's point, they'd be looking at their phones, probably watching Euphoria during class, look up and go, and then go right back to the loose ween on the HBO show. That's number one. Number two, as a parent, I am so sick of school not focusing on math and reading and critical thinking. I really think the only time my girls learn state capitals is when I had a shower curtain of the United States that had all the state capitals on it. So they need to go back and teach kids math. That is really, really important. The other thing, as a parent, I appreciate the stunt, because when my older daughter, especially when she was a freshman in high school, she tried to wear like crop tops to school. So I started wearing crop tops and flew around the house. And the other day, she came home and I was folding laundry on my phone, so I put it on because I knew she was about to come home. I was folding laundry on my phone, and I'm like, hey, and she's like, oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing?
That's momism. That's why I kind of like the momism. All right, I think we killed this. Coming up, Giselle made the decision to give her car an exorcism.
Bipolar depression. It made me feel trapped in a fog. This is art inspired by real stories of bipolar depression. I just couldn't find my way out of it. The lows of bipolar depression can take you to a dark place. Latuda can make a real difference in your symptoms. Latuda was proven to significantly reduce bipolar depression symptoms, and in clinical studies had no substantial impact on weight.
This is where I want to be.
Call your doctor about sudden behavior changes or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Report fever, confusion, stiff or uncontrollable muscle movements, which may be life-threatening or permanent. These aren't all the serious side effects.
Now, I'm back alone.
Ask your doctor if Latuda is right for you. Pay as little as $0 for your first prescription.
When we started selling my health products online, our shipping process was painfully slow. Then we found ShipStation. Now we're shipping out orders 5 times faster, and we're saving a ton.
Go to shipstation.com/TV and get 2 months free.
When it comes to family, I always do what's best. My parents taught me that. That's why I call A Place for Mom. Their personalized guidance was just what I needed to find senior living for Mom. And their advice is free to families, not just free, invaluable. Our advisor gave us options based on our needs and budget, guiding us to the best decision. I never expected a free service to make such a difference.
Our service comes at no cost to your family. Connect with us today.
Smile Direct Club. Smile Direct Club is a great way to straighten your teeth at home. They help you get the results that you want. My own son is actually a Smile Direct Club patient. I would highly recommend it.
Start your doctor-directed care at SmileDirectClub.com.
I wanted to create a dynasty.
To stay on top, you have to be ruthless.
We have to stick together, no matter what.
Monarch, Tuesdays on Fox, and watch anytime on Hulu.
This LA team gets star after star after star, which used to be the model for Dallas. Now the stars come into LA, and they're going to have to play.
Touchdown! The NFL, Sunday on Fox.
Hi, I'm Jason, and I've lost 202 pounds on Gola. Being a veteran, the transition from the military into civilian life causes a lot of stress. I ate a lot for stress. Gola and releases helped me with managing that stress and allowing me to focus on losing weight. For anyone struggling with weight and stress-related weight gain, I recommend Gola to you. This is a real thing. This is not a hoax. You follow the plan, you'll lose weight.
Let's dive in.
What about your back?
It's fine!
Advil Dual Action fights pain 2 ways. Advil targets pain at the source, acetaminophen blocks pain signals. Advil Dual Action.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest MyPillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere My Pillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have My Pillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing My Pillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last.
A story in 5 words. Story in 5 words. Giselle tries to purify car. So, Kat, Giselle met with a holistic healer to burn sage around her car amid her divorce with Tom, what's his face? So, do you ever notice when there's bad things happening for people that are really, really rich, they always just become super gullible?
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not a religious person, but I'm really proud of myself for never, replacing that void with astrology or sage. I just leave it empty. But yeah, I never had a problem where it's like, oh, vibes are off in and around my SUV. There's always a little something more in your face than that.
Yeah, but it's so funny. I mean, David, I forgot your name. Isn't sage just better suited for like a person's name? Like, Sage, come here.
What is sage? Is that a seasoning?
I don't know.
What did I use that for?
I don't know.
Yeah, you can season with sage.
Well, you are the opposite of sage.
No, yeah, you're right. I'll tell you though, like,
Go ahead, you weirdo.
The richer you get, I mean, it's not that you're gullible. It's like, what are you going to spend your money on?
Yeah.
That's what you have to, you just get into witchcraft at some point. I mean, Tom Brady, he's like 47. He's playing football. I mean, that's not Pilates. That's dark arts.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you made a deal with the devil.
Yeah, they call him the goat. That's because he sacrifices one before every game.
Nice. Keep that joke. Why do they fall for this crap? See, I mean, it's, up front, you can tell, one of her rich friends recommended a special sage expert.
A healer. A healer. You need a healer.
They're all like the old lady in Poltergeist.
Right? You're rich. Go buy a new car, you coat hanger. If I was Brady, I would see that, and I would go sit in the passenger seat and just start ripping them and breaking them.
That's...
I'm going to deodorize this for you, hon.
In some ways, that's a healing art. Just walking into tight spaces, Kennedy, and flatulating.
Yes, after.
If you actually came up and said that, some rich person would pay you to do it. You said, yeah, I buy a healing
Remember the lady who was selling farts in a jar?
Yes, yeah.
And they're like, this might be fraudulent. Like, maybe it is, maybe it's not. I'm just looking at the whole can of clam.
What's your take on this whole relationship?
Okay, so my mom came to this country from a Romanian village.
Right.
Like, we're talking peasants, headscarves, the whole thing. Lots of superstition. I sage everything. I sage my apartment, my dog, my children, my bed, every New Year's Eve, every year. Wow, every year. If I will sage a car. I have saged cars. I sage my office. When I moved, I thought I was smoking reefer because that's what it smells like when you burn it. And I keep it wrapped in tinfoil under the sink so I can use it again because my peasant ancestors were also very cheap.
We had a sage expert on the show, and I didn't even know about it.
Do that when I leave your apartment.
I sometimes sneak into your apartment.
It still doesn't cover up the odors, though.
And your
odors,
office.
just demons and stuff.
Yes. Up next, we leave you with a treat with some jokes we had to reheat.
Trilogy for COPD.
Birds flying high in a rock.
For as low as $29.98. Get all your Shopee ammo while quantities last. Please order now.
The Hunter Biden probe. Jim Jordan digs into the Fed's investigation. Plus, Nikki Haley on the bottle from OPEC's cutbacks on Sunday Morning Futures with Aroma.
Sir, you won't faze me. Unlike Zyrtec, Allegra won't make me drowsy.
Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. So take Allegra before allergy symptoms take over you.
And new Allegra Hives works to relieve itching and reduce hives for 24 hours.
When it's go time, I don't let constipation stop me.
New great-tasting Dulcolax Chewy Fruit Bites work naturally with the water in your body in as little as 30 minutes, so you can go fast. Go gently and go on with life. New Docolex Chewy Fruit Bites put you comfortably in control.
Icy Hot Pro. Ice works fast to freeze your pain and your doubt. Heat makes it last, so you'll never sit this one out. Icy Hot Pro with 2 max strength pain relievers.
Age before beauty? Why not both? Visibly diminish wrinkled skin in just 2 days. New Crate Corrector Lotion, only from Gold Bond. Championing your skin.
Being assaulted at work is horrifying. I know because it happened to me. And when you're not supported, it's devastating. As Speaker, Tina Kotek blocked an investigation into repeated sexual abuse because she was worried about how it would make her look. She's been called a bully, willing to do anything to protect her power. But covering up sexual abuse because it might make you look bad? I'm a Democrat, but Speaker Kotek, we've all had enough.
Paid for by friends of Christine Drazen, PAC ID 19050.
Bread's leftovers.
Time once again for Leftovers, the segment your mom called that weird thing they do at the end of the week that I don't get. Actually, it's where we read jokes that we didn't use this week, and as always, it's my first time reading them, so here we go. This week, President Biden toured Florida, surveying the damage caused by Hurricane Ian. Meanwhile, Hurricane Ian toured the rest of the country, surveying the damage caused by President Biden. Why did I use that? Billy Eichner's gay romantic comedy Bros bombed at the box office, earning just $4.8 million in its opening weekend. Industry experts say that makes it the most unwanted Bros since Chris and Andrew Cuomo. Speaking of, a humbled Chris Cuomo debuted a show on News Nation promising things will be different at his new network. He noted the biggest change is that sexual harassment training, he already knew the answers. The director of the upcoming Scooby-Doo animated movie says Velma will be officially revealed as a lesbian. But many viewers say they were tipped off when Velma traded in the Mystery Machine for a Subaru. Still, the news is sparking excited reactions from other cartoon favorites, most notably Peppermint Patty. San Francisco has a new luxury restaurant for dogs that offers a $75 tasting menu. And before the entree is served, dogs enjoy an appetizer of their own poop. Former actress Lena Dunham announced that when she dies, she wants her casket driven through the Pride Parade. But an LGBT community spokesperson says they won't drive Dunham's casket, nor will they pay for the 18-wheeler to pull it. A new report finds that more and more senior citizens are fleeing to states with lower taxes. To accommodate them, U-Hauls are offering a special on trucks with the turn signals permanently on. During Tesla's AI Day, Elon Musk unveiled Optimus, an autonomous robot that displays realistic human qualities. He says it'll be able to do jobs humans don't want, like being on the team that puts on Whoopi Goldberg's shoes. Why her? I don't know, but Musk also bragged that Optimus is so authentic that after having sex, he nuts and bolts. An NYU professor has been fired after students signed a petition claiming his organic chemistry class was too hard. So starting next year, the school says organic chem will become part of the women's studies department. Controversy continues at the Canadian high school over the teacher with the pair of gigantic prosthetic breasts. Protests at this school have been nonstop. Today, all the boys quit the girls' swim team. Meanwhile, the teacher says her routine hasn't changed, although parent-teacher conferences will now be held in the champagne room. That's the private room for lap dances, in case you didn't know. David. Anyway, finally, a study finds that the average person admits they've made 4 wrong major life decisions. The 4 most common mistakes included Carter, Clinton, Obama, and Biden. That is red meat. That was good, huh? Well, not a bad one in there. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
JC tried Gain Flakes for the first time the other day. The scent made quite an impression.
Closed captioning brought to you by
And JC were the only 2 left on Earth. But they weren't. You can always spot it first time.
When it was time to sign up for...
Now, get $10 back when you spend $30. That's a seriously good deal.
Are you taking a statin drug to reduce cholesterol? It can also deplete your CoQ10 levels. I recommend considering Quinol CoQ10 along with your statin medication. The brand I trust is Quinol.
I'll remember that chapter of my life forever. We laughed, we cried, we protected that progressive home and olive bundle day and night. We left our blood, sweat, and tears on that yard. Well, Jamie did anyway.
the future. The way you see it is said to depend on where you sit. At X-Chair, we think it also gets down to how you sit, which is why our technology is light years ahead. X-Chair has done it again with our groundbreaking LMX technology, providing hours of infinite comfort no matter where in the world you're sitting. By synthesizing the universe's elements, bringing hot, cold, and touch into one extraordinary seating experience, our mission is to help you discover that every workday can happen with body and mind in an out-of-this-world place of comfort and productivity. X-Chair is charting a new course, helping workers everywhere find comfort as their work worlds zoom back and forth. Even though your work reality may continue to shift, we've got our eye on the future of work, so you can focus on the present. At X-Chair, we're gazing ahead, and from where we sit, the future still feels good. Visit xchair.com today and get 50% off an X-HMT heat and massage unit with every chair.
This season, invite fall into your home with a stylish refresh. Get great deals on vesters that are ready for a fast delivery. Be fall fabulous by visiting your local Ashley store or shop online today.
Clunky beige plastic or Presto. You choose. Better hearing made virtually invisible. That's the Earbo difference.
These are Smile Direct Clever Liners. They can turn a smile like this into a smile like this in as little as 4 to 6 months for less than $3 a day. Choose Smile. Get started for free at SmileDirectClub.com. Everything I did for my family.
The cleaning lady's taken care of.
We just have to stick to the plan. No one can ever know the choice.
It's not safe for any of us.
I don't know why you don't just make a fresh start.
There's no fresh start for us.
The Cleaning Lady, Mondays at Fox, and watch anytime on Hulu.
Tuesday on Fox and FS1. The NFL season is going to be ridiculous. You've got Mookie, Freeman, and the heavyweight Dodgers out west. You've got Acuna Jr. and the reigning champs. In St. Louis, you've got Kool, the MVP favorite and the Renaissance man. Oh, and the 2 aces and kings, yeah, have fun against them. The NLDS begins Tuesday on Fox and FS1.
It's the Lego Masters Treehouse of Terror.
The pressure is real and the stress is real.
I can't do this anymore. I can't.
All new Lego Masters, Wednesday after the Masked Singer. I'm giving this on Fox.
We're out of time. Thanks to Kennedy, taking it down, taking the answer. Our studio audience, Fox News in a minute with 3 great characters next.
Hello and welcome to Fox News at Night. I'm Trace Gallagher in Washington. And breaking tonight, President Biden's apocalyptic warning of a nuclear Armageddon made to donors in what was thought to be private
but is already being felt in very public ways around the world tonight. It's even sparking words of warning from the French president, Emmanuel Macron. Meantime, back here at home, President Biden is taking credit for creating 10 million jobs, but we crunched the numbers and found out that his claim, as you might have guessed, misses the mark a bit. Plus, if it's Friday, you know we like to take a look back at some of the top media moments of the week, and of course, the mainstream moments the media is missing. And a father tragically killed during a visit to his son's college campus for a family weekend. What we are learning tonight about the repeat offender and why he was back on the streets. But we begin tonight with the president's private comments about Vladimir Putin having some real global impact. Kevin Cork starts things off live tonight with what the White House is saying about Russia's nuclear threats and how the U.S. is responding. Kevin, good evening.
Evening to you, my friend. So I just want to point this out. In just the past week, President Biden's actually gone from saying nobody messes with a Biden, he used the F word, to actually sounding the alarm over a potential nuclear Armageddon. That's what I would call messing with anybody, and what a difference a week does make. Now, for what it's worth, White House officials say he wasn't revealing any classified intelligence when he lobbed that, say what, out there. The president making that jaw-dropping claim at a fundraiser Thursday, saying, quote, "We have not faced the prospect of Armageddon since Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis." He's not joking when he talks about potential use of tactical nuclear weapons, he as in Vladimir Putin. And so there you have it, a shocking statement to say the least, though it's fair to point out that despite the president's dire warning in private to donors, the White House is offering a vastly different picture, at least publicly, about Vladimir Putin's nuclear ambitions and America's potential response.
We have not seen any reason to adjust our own nuclear posture, nor do we have indications they are preparing to use them.
And while White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says the president's comments have been consistent when it comes to Moscow's nuclear threats, recall, if you will, this offering from just last spring.
And when you said a chemical weapon use by Russia would trigger a response in kind.
It will trigger a significant response.
What does that mean?
I'm not going to tell you. Why would I tell you? You got to be silly.
Well, as you can imagine, the president's Armageddon talk is reverberating around the globe, with French President Emmanuel Macron weighing in at an EU summit in Prague, saying this, quote, "I have always refused to engage in political fiction, and especially when speaking of nuclear weapons. On this issue, we must be very careful." And in an ominous twist, Trace, the U.S. government just this week bought $290 million in supplies of a drug designed to treat blood cell injuries following radiological and nuclear emergencies. Part of what officials say are, quote, long-standing efforts to prepare for the potential health impacts from threats to national security. Trace?
And Kevin, not to make you the fact-check bureau or anything, but the president again today claimed that he created 10 million jobs overall and also created hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs. But the president might not be giving us the full picture.
Yeah, what's the old saying, my friend? There are lies, damn lies, and statistics. You've heard people say that. Well, the stats in this case, Trace, frankly, are grossly misleading because many of the jobs the president is claiming to have created were actually a natural byproduct of the post-pandemic economy. That is to say, the return to work for millions of Americans who'd been displaced by the policies that shuttered millions of businesses and cost millions of Americans their jobs. The Biden economy has actually created about 500,000 jobs since February 2020, about 514,000 to be exact, and that includes about 95,000 jobs in the manufacturing sector again since then. So it's only a fraction of the claims, but that's the spend that we're used to seeing in just about every White House, Trace.
10 million, 500,000, Kevin, give or take.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
You bet.
So with America's employers pulling back on hiring in September and the Fed likely to continue raising interest rates, fears are growing tonight over just how long our economic slowdown will last. With us here in studio is E.J. Antoni, an economist with the Heritage Foundation. E.J., the jobs numbers were kind of about what we expected, right? But the markets didn't like them one bit. The Wall Street Journal writes the following, quoting here, stocks fell and Treasury yields climbed on concern that the relative strength of the jobs market would keep the Federal Reserve on track to approve another large interest rate increase. At its meeting next month, officials are trying to lift borrowing costs high enough to slow hiring, spending, and investment to reduce 4-decade high inflation. In other words, we're traveling down a very bumpy road here, EJ.
Absolutely. And we're kind of in this paradoxical place, Trace, where in terms of the markets, good news is bad news. Because the stronger the economy is, they think that is a signal that the Fed is going to continue with these hard and fast rate hikes, which, as you pointed out, is going to create a big slowdown in terms of the economy.
Yeah, it's interesting because the president, he could not be happier. Listen to him today. Watch.
Our economy created 263,000 jobs last month. That's 10 million jobs since I've come into office. That's the fastest job growth at any point of any president in all American history. Historic progress. The unemployment rate remains at historic low, 3.5% unemployment.
So we already knocked down a few of the president's numbers there. He likes to run the numbers. A few things he left out, EJ, and we'll put these on the screen. He left out this. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down by nearly 20% year to date. Arizona, Ohio, and Nevada have seen gas prices rise by 17+ cents in the past week. Wage gains continue to be erased by an increase in the inflation rate, and 30-year rate fixed mortgages, 6.6%. That is the highest since 2007. Also concerning because now we believe the Fed's going to raise the rate even further, and you're going to have higher interest rates, which affects credit cards and everything else.
Absolutely. And nowhere in any of the White House talking points are they addressing the fact that we have about 1 million jobs over the last year that are actually just double counting. It's things like people moving from self-employment to working for a big corporation, or people who already have a job but have to take on a second or third job in some cases because of the high cost of living, which since Biden has taken office has cost the average American the equivalent of about $3,000 a year. And then the higher borrowing costs, as you pointed out, that's costing the equivalent of another $1,200 a year. So the average American feels $4,200 poorer today than when Biden took office.
Yeah, and I talk to people all the time, and they say the same things like, my retirement, my 401k is way down, and the money that I have isn't going as far as it used to. They're concerned.
Absolutely. And one of the things people really have to be concerned about in terms of those 401ks, their retirement accounts, and their stocks is not only have these stocks dropped by a tremendous amount, we've lost trillions of dollars of value, but now you have to deduct another about 12.7% from that because that's how much prices have gone up since Biden took office.
It's interesting because I look at a lot of indications. I'm not really a financial guy, but I look at one thing that seems to kind of be recurring when we have troubles in the economy, which is credit card debt is piling up on Americans. And I look at this and I think when credit card debt starts piling up, it's the old adage, something's not right. And people are not being able to pay off their bills. What do you make of that?
No, absolutely. It's especially scary when you see people not able to afford their standard of living, so they're putting the balance onto credit cards, and then they're not able to pay that off in an environment of rising interest rates. So not only are the balances growing, but the rate at which those balances are growing is getting faster and faster as those interest charges grow every single month.
And that's the thing, the double whammy. You got the interest rates going up, you're piling up this debt, and a year down the road, all of a sudden people are, they're struggling, the credit card debt goes up, and they're defaulting on a lot of these things.
Exactly.
EJ and Tony, great to see you.
Great to see you too.
Coming in, we appreciate it. Well, we got breaking information on two major crime stories tonight. One involves a criminal who should not have been out of jail. Another involves a man who should not have been in the country. Let's begin with a grand jury in New York that has now indicted a career criminal who was on the run when he allegedly murdered a Long Island husband and father in a hotel lobby. This case is again bringing it to not only to the crime crisis, but also the reality of so many repeat offenders being back on the streets. Matt Finn is on the West Coast for tonight's Crime Beat. Matt, good evening.
Good evening, Trace. Well, 53-year-old father of three, Paul Kootz, was murdered while visiting his son at Marist College in Poughkeepsie, New York. Kootz's family is grieving, and now his murderer is expected to be arraigned next week. Police say Roy Johnson Jr. shot and killed the innocent father at a Courtyard Marriott hotel. Witnesses say Johnson walked into the lobby, pulled out a gun, and started spraying bullets. Officials say the suspected shooter should have been behind bars. Instead, he's walking free thanks to New York's bail reform law. Johnson Jr. was wanted in at least 2 states for serious crimes. His criminal record goes back to 2005.
for a violent robbery.
Why would you have somebody who has the prior criminal record, who's under investigation, be inside of that hotel?
Murders in New York are rising. From 2018 to 2021, and murders in the state increased by 55%. And many law enforcement agencies blame New York's bail reform that began in 2020 for the massive spike in crime. And on Thursday, President Biden and Governor Hochul were in Poughkeepsie, New York for an unrelated visit, but they did not mention that innocent father who was killed. Johnson Jr., who is the suspected shooter, is expected to learn of his charges when he's arraigned next week. Trace.
And Matt, you're following another story tonight out of Nevada of a suspect accused of stabbing 8 people on the Vegas Strip, killing 2 of them. Turns out he's apparently in the U.S. illegally. What do we know?
Well, Trace, that stabbing suspect is 32-year-old Yoni Barrios, a Guatemalan national who has a criminal record here in California. An ICE source tells Fox's Bill Mallusion. Police say Barrios stabbed 8 people near the Wynn Hotel on the Las Vegas Strip around lunchtime yesterday, including women dressed as showgirl impersonators, killing one of them, 30-year-old Las Vegas resident Maris DiGiovanni, along with a 47-year-old man, Brent Hallett. According to a police report, Barrios went from California to Vegas to stay with a friend, but the friend did not allow Barrios to remain at the house. So Barrios then took a bus to the Vegas Strip and went on that stabbing rampage. The police report says Barrios had hoped officers would shoot him. Barrios is expected to be charged Tuesday with 2 counts of murder and 6 counts of attempted murder with a weapon identified as a 12-inch kitchen knife. Just a chaotic and tragic event there in Vegas, Trace.
It is both of those. Matt Finn live for us in the West Coast. Matt, thank you. Well, the crime crisis is so out of control in New York City that a popular drugstore chain is considering putting its items behind lock and key. Pretty much all of them, right? Rite Aid executives reportedly blaming a $5 million revenue loss on shoplifting. Then much of it brazen shoplifting and organized retail crime. Many critics blame District Attorney Alvin Bragg's bail reform law. You may recall last year that Walgreens closed several stores in San Francisco because of exactly that, shoplifting. Well, Tyson Foods is joining a growing list of companies, including Boeing, Caterpillar, and Citadel, in moving corporate operations out of the city of Chicago, as the Windy City, of course, struggles to cope with a new surge in violent crime. Meantime, Mayor Lori Lightfoot does not appear troubled by these business departures, recently taping a TikTok video in which she sings to promote Chicago's karaoke competition.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go?
You probably guessed the critics are not taking kindly to Lightfoot's musical foray, given the city seeing a 37% increase in violent crime compared to the same time period in 2021. Well, it is time now to shine our Friday night light on the highs and lows of media coverage over the past week. We begin with Thursday's column in the Washington Post, take issue with this network's coverage of America's crime crisis. In the piece titled "Crime is Surging" in Fox News coverage, columnist Philip Bump opines that last year and so far this year, Fox News has mentioned crime twice as often as its competitors on average. Now, with the midterms looming, Fox News is talking about crime more than ever. Let's get insight on mainstream media perception at townhall.com managing editor Brown and the host of O'Connor Tonight on Salem News Channel, Larry O'Connor. Gentlemen, welcome to you both. That was kind of my low with the Washington Post, and the reason I said that is because I was reading it and I was thinking of the 6 or 8 people who were stabbed on the Las Vegas Strip. And